30 viewers at the moment. You want to let everyone know what exactly we're doing here?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. This is the StarCraft 2 Community Team League that you are currently watching. It is the round of 12 in the playoffs, and we are watching a best of 9 between Pulse Esports and StarCraft 2 Strategy. One of these teams will go home tonight, and it is your pleasure to see which one it is. We hopefully will have some more games tonight. We do have a 3-2, so we have at least 2 more games coming, and so we got some good action coming your way. You can follow us at WingnutSC, at Gallegation, to find out all the new events that are coming up, when we're going live, and all that good stuff, when the video on demand will be available. And check out DOS Keyboards, as they are the sponsor for the league. They have donated 5 keyboards to the winning team of the tournament, which we will be finding out who that is in just a few short weeks.
I just posted a sample tweet in chat. If you wouldn't mind, take a second to send that out. Add your own little message to the end that would let DOS Keyboard know that we're thinking of them and that we're letting everybody know about them, and that we super appreciate them putting out a big investment in a brand new league. So it's been really awesome to have them on board.
It absolutely has been. So let me tell you a little bit about Mumming. He does represent Pulse Esports, and he is a player who decided to buy StarCraft 1 right before StarCraft 2 came out to get some practice done. And it was after he saw a trailer for StarCraft 2 from a friend, got excited about it. So he played a lot of LAN games for StarCraft 1 after school and practiced with his friends. Started playing StarCraft 2 when he got a beta key, so pretty early on. And in Wings of Liberty, he six-pooled a lot. He was trying to stay up in the ranks, apparently, and that was apparently also effective for him. So at first he played random, and then he decided to switch to Zerg as he felt the most comfortable with it. But when HOTS came out, he decided to switch to Terran. And he... Where are we at here? He has yet to finish his season as Grandmasters, but apparently he has it, I guess. And his first StarCraft 2 team was DSR, and then he joined a Croatian international clan called StarCraft Freaks Clan, and then ended up joining up with Team Pulse. And he likes Pulse as they are pretty active in Skype, so that he can always find players to play with and train with. You can find him on Twitter at Mumming2, and so check him out if you like his playstyle. Follow him, see when he goes live with his training and all that good stuff, and he'll keep you posted as to what he's up to.
Also, follow these teams on Twitter. You know, it's our pleasure certainly to push these teams out to the community. They've been great teams, great to work with. For Pulse Esports, you can find them at Pulse Esports on Twitter and / Pulse Esports on Facebook. For StarCraft 2 Strategy, it's at SC2S Community. That's a confusing one. I'm not sure if I'm pretty sure they have a Facebook as well, but if you just search for SC2S Community, I believe you'll find it. So go out and check out the teams as well, and that way after the league is done, you can keep track of them, and hopefully they'll be back for Season 2 as well.
That's right. Pulse Esports is also at Pulse Esports, and you can find them in similar fashions as we jump into game number 5.
Yep, and in the right-hand corner for Team Pulse, for Team StarCraft 2 Strategy, it's going to be a Protoss player. He is wearing the purple trunks. His name is Fiasco. And this is game number 6.
Oh, game number 6. My bad. Sorry about that. In the top left-hand corner, representing Team Pulse, taking over for his teammate Abstinence, who went on a 3-game winning streak. Let's see if he's able to do a similar feat himself. It is Mumming.
So another PvT. We've seen a lot of interesting PvT play. We saw another one last game with the Proxy Twilight. It seems like the Protoss generally tries to do something sneaky on the Terran. Terran, I think the sneakiest play we've really seen is the early Mine Marine drop or Cloaked Banshees. But I'm really surprised, though. I mean, since the patch where they decreased the cost of the cloaking research for Banshees, that we haven't seen as much.
Yeah, we really haven't, and you know, it will be interesting to see if we do see more of that good old Protoss interesting stuff. But so far it's looking like Fiasco is just looking around his base, trying to see if there's any shenaniganry going on in there. And running around in his natural doing the same thing, while Barracks is going down for our good friend Mumming. So pretty early, or pretty standard openings thus far, not usually timing for too much goofy stuff, but you never know that probe is heading out now.
Double gas going down for Fiasco, so he's going to be getting some tech up here. The big question is, how many does he put in gas? If it's 2 in each or 3 in each, we will largely be able to tell a tech path by that point. Looks like it's going to be 2 in each. So pretty standard build out of Fiasco. Mumming going to be doing the same with a Marine coming out. I see a Reaper a lot these days to get some scouting done, but looks like that gas was a little bit later. So he's going to be, probe poking at that SCV a little bit. We did see Abstinence get in a little bit of trouble with that, a little bit of miscontrol, and ended up losing an SCV early, and thus his supply depot finishing quite a bit later.
He is rearranging that barracks, going to get ready to get his one of those upgrades. It looks like he just rearranged it to get a Reaper instead.
Yeah, but this where did that Marine go? Okay,
it's
so
just hanging out.
Mumming is checking around his natural to make sure there's no proxies around here before putting down his command center. A good play indeed. Looks like there was a ping on the map denoting the pylon on the left side of Fiasco's base. Not sure what's too unique about that, but someone wanted to draw some attention to it.
I mean, that is kind of the positioning that we've been seeing thus far from Protoss when they put down the Twilight Council in base, as opposed to out of base.
Yeah, so, Warpgate hasn't been started yet either, so Fiasco's going to be saving up some gas for something. Another pylon going down at the ridge. Sometimes these pylons are just here for some drop scouting, too.
Fiasco decided to put down his natural base instead of doing any tech just yet, and right after that we do see Warpgate getting started. That Reaper is going to move in and see that, though.
Yeah, now Fiasco has put 3 in gas on each side, so he's going to be stockpiling up that gas as the Reaper comes around behind to check out what's up. He's not going to see a whole lot. Oh, but he does want to pull those probes to try and trap that Reaper, but he gets away.
And does see those pylons. I'm not sure what he was trying to... I mean, maybe he was just trying to keep the Reaper... or kill a Reaper, but I think that he wanted to keep that pylon from being scouted, as he does put a Twilight Council right there, so he wants to get rid of this Reaper before it scouts it out.
It almost seems like he was just kind of waiting to put that Twilight down until a scout came through, knowing that one would be coming, maybe?
That very well could be the case, but probe moving forward now, that is going to get picked off by that mothership core, though.
But he's putting down a robo, too, very shortly after the Twilight, so he's going to be teching. He's not going to be going all in off a Twilight for sure. Likely going to be maybe Blink Colossus, but or going for an Observer. Well, we'll have to find out, but typically we've not seen the robo come as fast.
And DTs.
All right, so DTs.
So this is going to be Warpgate DT, or I'm sorry, Warp Prism DTs. Is the direction that this is going to be heading.
Sounds like a plan. So let's see if Mumming is able to sniff this out. So far he's looks like he's got the spider sense going on. He's just putting a turret down in his mineral line, both bases, so he's going to be pretty safe against this. We'll just have to see how it works out with the eventual possible Warp Prism.
And the nice thing about the missile turrets is it's going to be detection against DTs, and it's also going to protect you against any goofy airplay. So it is a pretty solid defense. However, it's not going to help you out too much against those all-in stalker pushes that have blink, but Mumming deciding he's going to move out with about 10 Marines, see what kind of damage he can get done.
And it looks like he'd probably get a decent amount of damage done. There's only one center here. The mothership core is still hanging out, but it is going to have enough for photon overcharge here in about 10-15 seconds or so. Oh, the Warp Prism's going to go fly right over the Marines, get spotted. Is he going to be able to get out? No, he's going to lose that. So that was if that was his plan for the DTs, that's going to be thwarted as these Marines are moving in.
And this is not looking good for Fiasco right now. He did already use his force field, so that's not going to be helpful. But does warp in 2 DTs and gets that photon overcharge down.
He's playing a little ring around the rosy here with the DTs, but walks his Marines right back through him, gets a few extra hits, but there's a lot of Marines here killing a lot of probes.
But he's not going to be able to kill much more as these DTs are cleaning everything up.
I'm not sure why he was targeting the Nexus there, as it was pretty clear that he wouldn't be able to get enough time to take that out, but Observer being, Warp Prism being chrono boosted out here too, so he wants to get this done right away.
That's right, and the time is running out for that too, because Mumming is putting down missile turrets at his front, and he is going to be ready for these DTs coming in.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously, the element of surprise was severely hindered by that first Warp Prism flying right over those Marines, and he's going to be pretty safe as he's got this turret, like you said, right on the bunker, so nothing going to be coming in the front.
Although, if he is able to unload in the back of the main base, this army's going to be out of position, but he's going to run this warp prism right in line of the Marines. Is he going to move them? Nope.
Yeah, he did drop one DT there, but that's within range of the turret, but all the Marines being pulled back now. Oh,
trying to take down that warp prism, and they do get it.
And now this DT's going to be going for the... Yeah, he's just not going to get anything done with these DTs, so this putting Fiasco quite a bit behind here as his big tech play has been spotted and thwarted now, so he's just going to be putting down more gateways to try and get some gateway pressure going, as well as his armor upgrade, it looks like.
And robotics phase coming down right behind that. He's going to try and tech immediately into Colossus, seeing how much bio is on the field at the moment. And there, I don't know where that factory went. Is it scout? Yeah, it's flying around scouting.
Yep, so we're not going to be seeing any mech play out of Mumming as he's using his factory for its secondary utilitous purpose of scouting. But Fiasco here has a decent amount of money in the bank here, so he's going to be really stocking up those Colossus and or expanding. And I think that he should probably be expanding at this point with how poorly his initial attack plan went.
He's also got to be thinking, though, that there is going to be a counterattack coming, which is exactly what is coming down the pipes. A giant group of Marines with 2 medevacs. But if he's able to get one of these Colossus out in time...
Yeah, definitely seeing that army moving across the map, expanding. Not the best plan, but this Colossus is going to be a little too late for the party as the Marines are going to be moving up the ramp right now. Only Zealots without
and
charge.
Fiasco trying to take down those rocks. He's going to be completely out of position. The Marines stem forward, and that good old Guardian Shield going down, trying to keep those Zealots alive, but he is going to lose the sentry, pulling back now towards that Photon Overcharge Nexus. But the Stim Marines doing so much damage here.
Fiasco does have Zealot charge going on, but it's still only half done. That upgrade takes so long, and without that, these Marines can just micro their little hearts away on these Zealots.
And all the Zealots have died, and Mumming feeling pretty confident with that. He pulls out as he sees that Colossus coming down the ramp.
And great control, seeing that Colossus immediately loading up.
That is what you want to do in that situation.
So Mumming definitely quite a ways ahead here, even though the food counts are fairly even. He has been unthwarted in his tech baths so far, and now Thermal Lance is coming down for Colossus, so if he can get a decent number of Colossus up, he could do quite a bit of damage, but it also, Mumming knows there's Colossus now, so he could start mass producing Vikings at some point.
And Mumming choosing to take down these rocks, he is going to try and take that third base, which I think is a good play here. Is still making medevacs, though. Let's see if he switches to Vikings. Yep, he is going to switch to Vikings out of that starport now, which is absolutely the right play. He's going to need a couple of those in order to deal with these Colossus.
He definitely wanted to get up his 6 medevacs first, it looks like.
And there's nothing wrong with that. They keep your boys alive.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be pretty safe here, putting on his third base. There is a force coming out for Fiasco. It's 9 Zealots. 2 Stalkers and a Sentry, as well as 2 Colossus. He's just gonna run into a wall here when he tries to come up this ramp. Oh, but a load up coming from Mumming. Ooh. So if Mumming moves out with this, he's gonna go right over the probe. So he knows that the drop is coming. So let's see what happens here. He's taking on the rocks on the third base, but Mumming knows exactly what's coming on, moving his army out to force the issue. He's not gonna even get the rocks down.
Oh, great force fields though, zoning out those Marines. And in the meantime, Fiasco is also warping in a handful of units back at base to defend against this incoming drop. So this is going to go very well for him. And there they go. They do engage. Trying to target down that medevac. Do get it down before it fully unloads, but only one is killed, warping in more Zealots to zone out these bio units. Kills the other one, so all these units are going to get cleaned up. That is going to be the end of that push for Mumming.
Now that the Zealots have charge, they do an amazing job against small numbers of the Terran units like that. So that was a great play by Fiasco to control the Stalkers to take out the medevacs while using the Zealots to take out the units. So now it looks like Fiasco may be starting to pull himself back in this a little bit, but Mumming still has quite a force out here.
He absolutely does, and Fiasco doing a really good job of decision-making here. He's deciding to take the third base on the opposite side of where he's previously going for it, and that factory is just hovering over there trying to figure out, when that base is going to go down. It's not going to see it, though, because it's not in the right position.
Probe coming out, sees the incoming push from Mumming. Storm is coming down, it's about half done, but 2-2 just finished a minute ago for Mumming, so he's got a pretty impressive Bioforce here. If we look at the upgrades of Fiasco, he's only got 1-1, so I mean, this much Marines and Marauders with 4 Medivacs can be pretty deadly with those upgrades. It looks like he's going to split off a couple Medivacs for a drop here on the third. Oh, is he going to do a 3-pronged attack? A drop on the third, a drop on the main, and a push up the gut.
And that's probably going to be pretty effective, although splitting his army up like that is going to hurt his numbers against the entirety of the army of Fiasco here. That may not turn out to be all that useful for him. If he can't get his army out of here alive, he is losing a lot of that main, and he pulls off the Colossus to deal with what's in the third. Is able to take a lot of that out as the third prong heads into the main.
Interested to see what would have happened if Fiasco ended up just keeping up that push. I mean, he definitely would have lost his main here, but he could have gone all in, but Mumming's forces would have been quite weakened since he was so split up. But now Mumming going to be able to take out so much of the tech here of Fiasco. He's going to be able to load back up and boost himself right out of there.
Oh, he's going to choosing to drop to try and get a little bit of economic damage before his units die. And I'm not sure if that was the right decision. He is going to get some probe kills, but he's going to lose a lot of that army.
He took out the third, so he did quite a bit of economic damage already. I think he just should have pulled back off of that. But 3-3 now coming down for Mumming, so he's looking to extend his lead, as Fiasco just doesn't have the income to both make units and get upgrades right now. He doesn't even have any Templar on the field, I don't think. So let's look at the... Yeah, he does have 1 Templar. Where is that Templar? I'm guessing he's with the army right here.
He's right smack dab in the middle.
Yep. So 1 Templar looks like he's got... Well,
he did just warp in 4 more, yeah. So he's going to be boosting those numbers, which is going to be incredibly important as this giant Bioforce with Vikings are moving forward. Great idea to switch out of those Colossus, as there are a lot of Vikings out there now.
I was just going to say the same thing. That's definitely a key play. But now we're going to have a huge engagement here as the forces of Mumming come to run into Fiasco. The Colossus out of position right now, so he's definitely going to want to get those to the back. But Mumming is looking like he's going to push towards the third to try and draw the army down the ramp for a better engagement.
A lot of positioning going on here. Fiasco is able to get in between the army and his third, and now he's going for the aggression. And great storm. I think Mumming is looking somewhere else. Absolutely huge storms going down. Having to run out of there, losing a lot of units. Oh, another great storm, though. Just this bio army is getting decimated.
The Zealots just doing a number on the bio army while the Stalker's taking out all the Vikings. Now there's no more Vikings. 2 Colossus left for Fiasco. This is great position for him.
And this is not going Mumming's way at all. I think his focus was somewhere else when that engagement began, and he took heavy casualties because of that.
And now Fiasco, that he has his third base back up, his economy's rolling again. He's able to get his plus 2 attack and army. The colors.
plus 3 on the armor.
Okay, yeah. The colors for the upgrades for Protoss are throwing me off. Not sure why they changed that, but hey, whatever. But it looks like 3-3 is going to be finishing for Mumming here. He does have a 4th base that's fully saturated, so that also is a planetary. So he's not down and out yet, and he's still got about 30 food advantage on Mumming. But Fiasco, he's taking the engagements the way he needs to.
He absolutely is, but Mumming has this drop ready to go, and it looks like it's going to be going straight for that 4th base now for Fiasco. So if they could snipe that, that could be a big boon for him.
He's got that factory scouting it out, so he knew exactly when it would be finishing and when the probes would be coming over to it.
And it's potential that if he is able to draw that army in that direction, he can load back up and head straight into the main, do a lot more structural damage.
Oh, but look at the spread on that drop. That actually takes quite a bit of control. That's pretty impressive. But also allows the Zealots to surround individual units.
But again, Mumming looking in a different direction as all of the army of Fiasco is coming in and cleans all of that up.
I don't actually know how I feel about the Terran players in this stage of the game when there's a lot of charged Zealots doing the spreads like that. I almost feel like it weakens the drop a bit because you lose the ability to just pick back up and go somewhere else.
It does in that regard, but it does also, speed up a little bit the dropping and the damage to a certain regard. But Ghosts are moving forward now.
MPs.
Oh, but storm going down on those ghosts. Preemptive storms heading down, trying to take out those Vikings, and so many Vikings.
Oh my god! Positioning of those storms.
They are trying to snipe those Templar, and there's not many left, frankly. So now these Colossus are kind of having free reign with all those Vikings gone, and this Bio army is getting obliterated.
That engagement was fantastic for Fiasco. I can't believe Mumming kept pushing through those storms in that choke right there. You could just see the HP of his army going down as they in a wave as they walked right through multiple storms in that little choke area.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what the end goal was with that. It looks like he was trying to snipe something off, but I'm not sure that he definitely didn't achieve what he was going to achieve. So that definitely puts him a little bit behind.
I mean, look at the food counts now. Fiasco is now in the lead. So, I mean, Fiasco's been playing from behind the whole game, I feel like, and he's really come out with a vengeance now. He's got just a sick army. He's got 4 Archons, a good number of Templar, Zealot, and Colossus. This is exactly the army you want right now against this Terran. So it's going to matter who gets the best storms or EMPs off as this engagement goes down.
Mumming's got to be careful, though, as both armies were approaching each other, and if Mumming is not watching his army, he could very well lose it.
The expands are now going down all over the place. Fiasco taking his 5th base on the right side, and Mumming taking his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th base now. So they're looking to take all the expansions with only one left unoccupied on the map.
And both players feeling like they're going to need the economy to resupply if they want to stay in this game. You know, Mumming taking huge losses, about 5,000 more than his opponent, so he's got to do something to stay in.
Fiasco is really bad. If the ghosts were right there, they could EMP the whole army, but he does manage to get out of it.
And I don't see the EMPs. Oh, there's an EMP going down. There it is.
Yeah, he did get a couple decent. Did get a couple decent EMPs off, but likewise a couple good storms as well.
Yeah, this army of Mumming is in very poor health. Medevacs are working overtime as there are only 5 with the army, so they have a lot of work to do to get those back up to full health.
Got the work cut out for them for sure. It looks like Fiasco does have the Observer speed upgrade down, and he's going to be sending that out to check out the positioning of the army. So now it becomes a map game.
That is correct. There are 9 ghosts on the field as opposed to and 9 High Templars, so they are going to be going toe-to-toe, trying to get their spells off in the right timings and the right locations to do the most amount of damage.
The thing about this map, though, there's so many small chokes.
And here they go. I think Mumming looked like he had the better positioning there, but he decided to back up, and the storms go down, walking right into them. This is not going well. So many ghosts are falling, trying to get the EMPs. Does get a couple of good ones, and trying to snipe those Templar. Now he's moving forward, but again, walking right through these storms. That is not going to be good for him. He's trying to force this army forward and get as many kills as he can, but a Templar is moving forward, going to get some... Oh, another huge storm! Oh my goodness! And... oh my gosh, that Templar got so many kills before it went down.
Yeah, those storms, absolutely.
Why is Mumming pushing the issue here? I don't understand why he's going forward, but...
Yeah, I mean, Fiasco's army is getting stronger and stronger. He's got +2 shields that are about to finish, as well as +3 attacks. So, I mean, this next push by him is going to be insane. I mean, yeah, Mumming does have 3/3, but the shield upgrade for the Archons is ridiculous in this stage of the game.
And it looks like Fiasco has an idea that that is the case. He is going to be walking around the map. Both players have huge banks, or at least Mumming does in the gas regard. Fiasco has just a giant bank in general, so he's going to be able to resupply no problem.
I was just checking the bases of Mumming. It doesn't appear that he's got a lot of SVs working, but oh, Fiasco going to be moving into the, we'll call this the upper base of Mumming. Oh, great storms on those SCVs, killing a large number of them. Right, man, Fiasco's storms, he storms preemptively to where the units are going to be, and that has just been amazing.
And that is good.
Yeah, a lot of times you see those storms not be all that impactful, but that's when you're storming on where the army is at the time. But when you storm where they're going to be, I mean, that's really what we've seen, is Mumming just walking through these storms that were cast in front of him.
And he's doing a great job, too, of taking these low-energy Templar and just morphing them straight into Archons, and then warping in a few more behind, the more Templar behind to start building up energy.
Yeah, if we look at the unit count, it's 53 SCVs left for Mumming and 72 probes for Fiasco. So Fiasco's on a full-force economy right now.
Yeah, and Pulse is going to really want to resupply those, but he's not making any.
These ghosts are hanging out on this cliff right here, hoping to get some nice EMPs with those scans, but the army's not going to move into position. It's going to work out for that.
Well, unfortunately for Mumming, he does have his entire army underneath a observer. And, oh no, Mumming...
Ghosts.
Oh, the ghosts are all gone, and that's going to probably be the game, as that was the force he needed. More storms going down, doing huge amounts of damage.
Yeah, but these storms not as fruitful as other ones past. He's been casting not where the army's going, so has only done minimal damage. But these Colossus and Archons are absolutely crazy right now.
That is true. There's only one ghost on the field, though. So he really needs to resupply those ghosts if he wants to stay in here. There are none in production, however.
Well, it looks like Fiasco's going to be making the big push now going... Oh, can't decide where he wants to go, but he's got 3-3-2 right now, so... I mean, it's going to take a lot to really do some damage to Fiasco, but he's been pushing up the ramp. Those Archons leading the charge with Colossus doing all the damage from the back. The purely bio force of Mumming is going to succumb to this as leaving only the Colossus left.
Yeah, but there's nothing here to defend against the 4 Colossus that are there. And he's just going to... Fiasco's going to continue to push this advantage, microing his wounded Colossus back and just trying to do as much damage as he can. Does end up losing 1.
That hero Colossus, man. That Colossus is like, I give my life for ire.
But he does have, you know, he's got a decent backup force here in the middle of the map, ready to push in. The thing that's really hurting him now, though, is he doesn't notice that Mumming has these 2 bases. Or at least if he does know, he's not doing anything about them.
Yeah, but if we look at the income, wow, the income is insanely in favor of Mumming right now. Mining 300 to just 3,000 to just under 2,000 for Fiasco. So Mule's definitely coming into play here as the SCV numbers are reduced for Mumming.
And they do make up a lot of that important economic advantage. Fiasco going in for a little bit of a poke and testing the waters, realizing that he doesn't really like the positioning that he was in as all those SCVs run forward to the planetary fortress. He's not going to be able to do much there at all.
There are 2 medevacs loaded up moving down the right side of the map. They're going to do a drop on this 2 o'clock expansion here for Fiasco. Only 1 cannon to back it up, so this is going to do quite a bit of damage, but Fiasco at the same time going to do a death push for the main.
And the ghosts that are there are getting taken down. I didn't see any EMPs going off. The Vikings are getting cleaned up so fast, and I don't know what Mumming's going to be able to do here.
Yeah, Mumming really committing to this drop, but I mean, he just doesn't have the forces in his main as he's at 100 and over 100 advantaged in the food count. So this is going to be the push that ends it all, looks like.
It definitely does look that way. However, you know, Mumming sending his drops in, he is able to take out that top right expansion.
The numbers of zealots here are insane. You know,
oh, look at those DTs! Fiasco has so many DTs.
That's a lot of DTs, man. And there's the GG. All right, wow, that game was crazy.
All over the place, back and forth. Armies being killed, armies being built.
So you know what that does? That brings our score to 3-3, so we've got an even set here.
Definitely been a slugfest between these 2 teams. They have been really fighting to stay in this tournament because those juicy DOS keyboards await them at the end of the tunnel.
They are juicy.
They are indeed juicy. So Mumming is taken